All right. Good morning. Good to see everybody again. I know we're still missing our guy Josh, but the word is he is healthy or getting healthy. So hopefully we'll get him back soon. I'll just start and quickly say, just again to reiterate, very grateful for our fans and having another great night in the vet. I thought it was a good showing by our football team. Certainly much to fix and things we have to attack right now, which we will here shortly as we get our guys back in our building today. Um, Maybe my biggest gains that I think that have happened for us is that we are starting to take positive steps in winning turnover margin as we continue to creep further and further on the plus side of turnover margin for the year. Um, I think the good sign of a team winning games and improving is what they do during the year. And we've taken a step in our penalties and the discipline of our football team by improving on that as the years went on, and certainly into Sun Belt play. And the blend of our football team is something I'm very proud of, and it's something we must continue to have. And we call the blend just that marriage between all three phases, where our special teams units are playing with great efficiencies and putting our offense and defense in positions to have success, and the defense playing for and then the offense taking advantage of turnovers and field position. So those three areas are working together, hence the reason we're playing winning football right now, and we must keep up. And then the last thing I would say is a very positive and respectful challenge to our fan base. We need our students, we need Troy Nation, we need everybody to come back home, to come to homecoming and turn out for this group of young men that have put it on the line since January 14th to put a product on the field that they're proud of, and certainly that make all of our community proud. So we need them here. It's a nationally televised game. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere, and certainly a very good opponent that's on a winning streak of their own as well. So we need all the support we can get, and we look forward to having a great week of prep. With that, I'll take questions. Thanks.
Hey, Coach. Tay Meadows is out with an injury. Jordan Levitt steps out, rushers for 113 yards. Seems like you guys really just have a next man up mentality. What does it say about your team and Jordan specifically?
Well, I said it after the game, but you're spot on. It's next man up. I think also that there's no more attention drawn to it than anything else. I think the guys know what it is. There's an expectation to meet the standard, and you better. In a very good way, we challenged Lovett as well as the running back room to find a way to get the job done. And it's a testament to those young men that are doing it in the fire with the pads on, and also their coach and Coach Boyette that had those guys ready to go to get it done. And very happy for Lovett and the preparation that's led to get him to this point, and certainly happy to see it get done for him on Saturday night.
Hey, Coach, we saw you were pretty fiery on the halftime interview there. What does it say about where you are with this program? Not just to want to win. Obviously, you guys were up at that moment, but to want to play clean football and dominate.
Yeah, I think I said it, and I mean this. It was no disrespect to our guy who I didn't realize. My man Gavin just had his first on-field interview, and that was it, huh? So, but I'm glad. I'm just trying to get him battle ready. You know what I mean? But I'll say no disrespect. I was I was frustrated and pissed because I expect our football team to play as it practices and certainly play at a level of its best. We hadn't done that. And I was a little heated and probably needed to take a breath. So openly to our team at halftime and moving forward, I told them I lost my composure a little bit, and told them why and the reasons, and expected us to move forward and get it fixed. And our guys did that, and it's a testament to who they are. So I'll be better. But at the same time, I think the expectations and holding us accountable to what our best is my job.
And in your opening statement, you talked about things that you wanted to go and fix already. I mean, it's Monday, so you obviously haven't had practice yet. But what are those things that you are trying to fix to get ready for another home game this week and to try to extend your winning streak?
Yeah, I think if you have to. I think the sign of championship teams are getting better, Sarah. Every week we have to show that. And I think on defense we've got to tackle better and communicate better. That's the two key pieces to us. We have got to cover the football on special teams on kickoff better. That has to be something we get to right now. We let three missed tackles happen on the big return, and we were too loose with the football on offense. I think there's some red flags showing up. If we don't do that better and take care of the football, make sure we're honoring it, it's going to get us. And I don't want us to react after something bad happens. I want to be ahead of it right now. So there's plenty of things that we have listed as a staff and that I've laid out for our staff to make sure we address. Because if you fix these things with urgency only after you have a negative result or loss, you're late. And that's my job to make sure we're ahead of stuff. So we've got to stay ahead of this and then make sure we're fixing things with the same urgency when we win as what we do if we were to lose. So that's the job and the charge this week to continue that.
Coach, what were your preseason expectations of this year's defense, and have they met those expectations?
Yeah, I think the expectations now this year, meaning, and then certainly moving forward, is for us to be in the top three in every statistical category that we could be in all three phases. I think that's realistic to expect those things for us to be where we want to be as far as standings and the expectations of this place and winning. Things get in the way, for instance, offensively. There's been a lot lost that we haven't spoke about. We have to get it done. We found a way to remain efficient. But I think to your question of defense, I expect us to be in the top third in everything we do and take massive steps in turnover margin and sacks. And I think we're seeing that, right? There's a lot of things that are happening with sacks. I think we lead the league right now in sacks. Our turnover margin is bumped up to +3. I don't like our rushing yardage and some things we're doing there that we have to continue to address to get done. I think we've not met the mark just yet in that area. But there's other explosive plays to defense that we're doing better that have kept us showing improvement.
The defense has had 4 scores this year already. What has enabled that unit to be able to score like that?
Yeah, I think, ball disruption was a massive study for us and how we could coach it better and then get our guys to do it better this offseason. We went up to Notre Dame and visited with my good friend and studied how they did it. They led the country in turnover margin last year, so why not call on a friend and figure out how they practice it to improve it? We took a lot of things they've done and made some things our own to make sure that we practice it correctly. And then I think it's also the self-fulfilling prophecy, the I think, therefore I am. You have to think about turnovers, not just in practice or meetings. You got to think about them at night. I think just having it on your mind and making sure that we have pursuit to the football, because turnovers usually happen when you have more people to the ball. So I think it's just been a call to arms really in study and in off season. And then, of course, how we continue to reiterate it and celebrate it during the year when they happen.
A very similar question there. You guys are now back on the plus side of that margin. How much of an emphasis is that during these weekly meetings?
It's huge. I'll start every Monday with where we were in our turnover margin and field position. I'll then show exactly where we rank in the Sun Belt and then in the country, and show, too, where the top 10 teams in the country are in it. So it's an emphasis throughout the week that starts at the beginning of each week on Monday and then filters through on our Friday night meeting where we show more about it. So the guys are continuing to see, hey, this is where we are, this is where the greats are, where do we want to be, are we improving and taking the necessary steps to be where we want to be.
And you said that you talk about that in a meeting, and I know last week you said that you were watching podcasts on how to manage success, and you were talking about last week of keeping that humility. What are you saying to the team this week to continue to do that? If you've learned anything else from any of the podcasts that you've been listening to, or your mantra for this week?
Yeah, I kind of, at this point, it's all so much process driven. I am driving it home as many different ways as I can make up and find, but it's all going to be visited back to the team that wins the game is the most prepared football team that executes the best during the week. So this return to process allows us not to ride an emotional slope based on our opponent or anything we're doing or a win streak. It's not even discussed, and it certainly doesn't even feel like we're on a win streak. It feels like, what is my job as the head coach? What is the job of all our position coaches and our players who just stay process-oriented so they don't get caught looking too much at things or starting to count numbers of wins or what it is. We didn't discuss a bowl game. It's just not how we're wired, and I don't think it's the proper way to prepare for long-term success. So we're going to stay right in the moment. Today is about a Monday of fixing and getting things corrected and head towards a new game plan. tomorrow is a bloody Tuesday, and the whole key will be, can this be our best Tuesday of the year?
You all officially opened your indoor practice facility. How cool was it to see that, and how much of a tool was that for you guys?
Well, it was very neat to see the expression on the guys' faces. I think everybody was just completely blown away by what it looked like from the inside out. What a key piece it is for us, and it's not just in the realms of doing practices in there during bad weather or getting out of the sun during walkthroughs and things. It's also about sales. It's about showing the commitment that Troy University and Troy Athletics has to its football program. It's about that being seen by the opponents that come in here and see a first-class program with great facilities, and then sales to recruits and the future of our program. The best way to show people that football is important is what it looks like, and then certainly how it plays on the field. And we've got to serve both, and that's been done for us. Our guys are excited. Our staff's excited. I think it'll bode well for us even in the off season. It's something we're really excited to push us forward and create a little bit more juice as we finish out the year.
Anybody else?
And then what are the challenges looking towards Arkansas State? Just, the basic question that I know we all kind of need to hear from you. But what are those challenges looking like this week?
Yep, they're it's a momentum team as well. They've won close games. They've come back from being down and won. It's a tough, gritty program. Certainly one that got us last year at their place. They beat us up there and sent us back up the hill and made us walk with humility in front of their home crowd. It's a thing that certainly has weighed on the minds of all of us and this program, and they got the job done. So we have a lot to play for in this one, and another home game for us in our fifth game in this run of the first 5 games of the Sun Belt. So much to play for, a tall task. They play a great brand of football in all 3 phases, and they've got a great head coach who's done it for a long time, and Coach Jones, who's very well respected and certainly has our respect.